there, this is the Taser, Department issued Taser. It's like 50,000 volts, a little bit less than an amp. Comes out with the amperage is what really hurts you, not the voltage. But it does, it's painful. Officers have to go through an 8-hour training class in order to carry this. As part of their instruction, they have to actually take a tase also. Just to give them the idea of here's what's happening, here's how effective the weapon is, and so on and so on. I know you might have heard in the news many times about somebody being tased and then later on, hours later, they died.
Jesus.
It's not attributed to the taser. They've had many people that tried to sue Taser International because of that. They've always challenged the lawsuit. They've never lost a lawsuit yet. They cannot prove that the taser is the thing that's causing the death. It's usually because of something they call excited delirium, where there's other aspects that's going on in the person's body, like overdose of drugs. They're very high on drugs. They're very excited. There's other problems with them, medically and so on, that causes their death. The death does never happen exactly when they're tased. It usually happens 6 to 8 hours later. So they cannot attribute it to the taser. As another example, most departments that issue tasers, they also require the officers to be tased. Well, we haven't had a police officer yet got injured or died from being tased. And that's thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
We're still looking for that first one.
Now, we've never tested on firemen yet. We haven't had a volunteer. Okay, that was just a quick overview of the taser. Anybody got a question about that? Okay, what you're going to see is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the taser on. There's a laser dot. You can't see it here very well. Here you can, right there. I'm not going to tase it. I got the cartridge right here. There's no cartridge in here yet. Cartridge goes on here. But see where that dot is? That's where the top barb is going to hit. If I'm 7 feet away from her, that barb, the bottom barb is going to hit 3 feet down.
But she doesn't get 3 feet tall.
Okay, so
it's going to miss
I'm not going to be 7 feet away from her. For obvious reasons. What happens also is sometimes the officers have to test their taser every day before they go on duty. And what they have to do is they have to turn the taser on and do a spark test, which is that. That's the voltage it's going to go through. Once you pull that trigger, it goes for 5 seconds.
More like 6.
It seems like a minute when you're being tased, but it's 5 seconds every time you pull that trigger. Also, as part of this is the DPM. It's the power, and it's also a computer chip. So that later on, if an officer tases somebody, they go, look, I only tased him for 5 seconds. And the guy says, no, no, no. He tased me 5 times, and they were a minute each time. We can pull this out, and we can electronically show what time of day it was, the weather that day, the temperature, and so on when the tasing happens, and how long and how many times this trigger was pulled. So there is an electronic history of this. Does anybody have any questions before I do the demo?
No, but let us know you do it now.
Can't do it until I put this on.
Okay, stand by.
Okay. What we're going to do here is, normally when we do these tasers, we have the person in the middle is the one that's getting tased. They have an officer on each side. Because what happens here is when the voltage goes into the person, they're going to stiffen up. And usually they'll fall, or sometimes they'll just stay stiff. And that's why the officer's there to hold her up so she doesn't fall and injure herself.
Rob, you can go on the other side.
I can do it from the other side, that's fine.
No.
Good luck.
Just in case you missed the fire.
I got you, girl. Whatever's come out of my mouth. Yeah, with a, you want a countdown? Signal 8. You weren't tased yet. At 40 and 30 my right now.
I shut it off a little early. I didn't give her the whole 5 seconds. Now, what would happen here is that the officers then, she would go to the ground, and the officers then handcuff her. I would not undo this, and if she started to get rowdy again, all I'd have to do is pull the trigger again, and the voltage would go. Do it! How many people want me to do it again? I can't do that.
You can take it.
We love you.
Okay, then what we have to do is we have to remove the barb.
Oh, it got her in the neck. Oh.
Yeah, we ready? Okay. All you do is you grab the barb and you got to pull it out fast. It's just like a little fishing barb. Has a little barb on the end of it, so it won't come out. It's very difficult to come out.
All right, if everybody wants to hang around, we'll get the balls around.